Hello everyone. So I made a few videos on generating thumbnails for my YouTube videos using nothing but ffmpeg. I use ffmpeg for doing a lot of things. For example, I'm making this video right now using ffmpeg. I can also live stream using ffmpeg. At the same time, I use ffmpeg for doing a little bit of editing. I mean, not really proper editing because I don't like editing I like doing editing, but I don't really want to spend too much time doing editing. So I do things like concatenating or maybe cropping or maybe doing some file reduction and converting images, for example, if I have to. So basically I use ffmpeg for doing a lot of things, but I use on a daily basis ffmpeg for generating screenshots, or I should say thumbnails of my videos. Now I have of course made videos on this particular topic on generating thumbnails, but I have done some improvements to my generate thumb script, which is a shell script. So let me show you my previous one of my previous videos thumbnail. For example, if you look at this particular thumbnail, I think this is a good example. Let me open this one, Linux one. So this particular thumbnail is basically, I mean, this is of course my YouTube video, which is embedded here on my website, but on my even on my website, I have the way to basically pull in the videos that I upload on YouTube, but not really the whole video, but the image, the thumbnail of the image, or basically the thumb of the video. So if you look at this particular thumbnail, we have of course a few things happening. For example, this is the background image, which is Linux. So basically I have like on my computer I have one file called linux.png, which is basically the base image. Then on top of that base image, I use one more image, which is the actual screenshot which I want to display, and that is my input number 2. My third input is this particular cartoon character, which is not me, by the way, or maybe it is me, who knows, but this is of course the third image. And then I have 2 additional inputs for the text here, text number 1, text number 2, and 2 additional inputs for the background color of those of these text-based captions. And I also pass the transparency. And of course, it may seem like a complicated thing because there are so many inputs, but because it is a script, so I just need to use the script which is already there in my history and replace 1 line or 2 lines, and that is it. I try to keep my screenshot name. Whenever I take a screenshot, I keep the name screenshot.png, so that I don't really have to change the name in my script. So what I started doing a couple of days back, I started basically because if you look at this particular image, although it is great, but there is some white area on top which I wanted to utilize, because this is something that it is not really looking bad, at least to me, because first of all, I'm doing it using a script, so I'm saving a lot of time. Imagine doing it in GIMP or Photoshop or Inkscape or whatever tool that you're using. I just do it within 2 seconds or maybe 1 second. Now, to improve this, what I did, I basically started, let me show you. So the base image that I was using earlier, I just replaced it with the actual image of the topic. For example, if I'm talking about Emacs, so I just use this small PNG file, which I basically display on the overall thumbnail. But the main improvement that I did is the screenshot image, which I want to basically show. For example, if you look at this particular thumbnail, we have the screenshot where I'm talking about doing something with Emacs, and there is an arrow. So this is the main image. And the thing is that when you take screenshots, for example, when I take screenshots, I can do it using this wonderful utility called ksnip. So I can basically simply select something like this. For example, this is the image. Let me just take this particular part. right? So this is definitely not, I mean, to scale. I mean, this is not really accurate. I mean, when it comes to generating images of a specific size. So this is my actual image, and I will save it as a screenshot.png, right? I mean, this is the name. I prefer using the same name so that I don't really have to change the argument in my script. So this is great. Now the thing is, the improvement that I did in the script is that I basically scale the screenshot to a specific size and then I crop it. So let me show you the script first. So let us open Emacs client -c project. I know I'm typing this in a long way, but you can also use FZF if you want, which I have already configured, by the way. Or maybe I should use it. I mean, why I'm using this, I don't know. So let us use FZF and generate thumb dot sh. Where is the script? Come on. I could anyways. So let me just do it directly. So the script is Ravi, or maybe I was not really searching the whole directory. Okay, anyways, I need to modify the script. So let us go to the directory where I have the scripts, and then Emacs client -c, and if you look at the improvement or the main thing, I'll focus on the main thing. I'll not really talk about each and everything. So the main thing that I'm doing here is that I'm basically scaling the size of the image first. So the screenshot could be of any size. I'm scaling it to, using filter complex, of course. I'm scaling it to 1280 by 720. Now the thing with scale is that you can specify the scale, but sometimes ffmpeg command will fail, complaining about the ratio, because if your ratio is probably a bit odd, then it won't work. And I did, of course, a quick search online and I found this method. So basically, instead of specifying the size like this, 1280 by 720, usually if you're trying to scale, you want to basically use something like this, not 120 but 1280 colon -1. So -1 means that the other 1280 is the width, and -1 is basically that it should be adjusted based on the aspect ratio. Your scale should not basically squeeze, or it will maintain the aspect ratio, whatever aspect ratio it may have already. But we are trying to resize the width to 1280. Height will be adjusted automatically. So if you specify this, then sometimes the command will fail because the ratio is not always perfect. So after doing some search online, I found this method where you can basically calculate. Basically, you are doing it dynamically. I didn't really try to understand how this works, but the main thing is that here I think it has something to do with coefficients, and I don't really want to explain how it works because even I don't know how it works. But it is on Stack Overflow. I have this link here that will remind me that I found this particular method here. Now, you don't have to. Maybe it will work for you. Maybe in case if your size is, maybe if you want, you can just use 1280 by 720, and the script will definitely resize the image for you. But the aspect ratio, although it will be preserved, it will not be preserved, but it will look weird. The image will look weird. So after scaling, I am basically doing this crop of the image, and I'm of course using crop size as 1280 colon 720 because that is the base image that I want. So my objective is that whatever screenshot I'm taking, it could be in any, I'll try to take the screenshot keeping in mind that it is a bit wide, so it looks like a normal HD size, but the script will ensure that it is not only scaled but cropped to the exact 1280 by 720 because that is the size for YouTube. YouTube thumbnail. And rest of the script is same. So right now I have 3 images, and I mean the input here, and basically this particular script will of course take other inputs like the text labels that I want to have. And if I generate the script now, or if I run the script now, not generate, let me just find one of the generate. Okay, so this is the script that I want to run. The first input is the first label, then second label, then we have the screenshot, which is of course going to be the base image, but of course it will be scaled and then cropped. And then of course we have the logo, and then I'm passing the blank image as my third argument, which is that cartoon character on the right hand side, which I of course sometimes include, sometimes I don't include, depending upon my mood. And then of course I have 2 colors, and the last number here is the transparency, because sometimes I want that label to have some transparent, I mean the color, I want sometimes it to be transparent. So if I run this, it will overwrite the output file which is already there. And if I show you the actual output, so if you look here, although it looks a bit weird, so this particular logo on the top, maybe I should use I think it's fine. So I think you understand. So basically this particular image on the background, it's now covering the whole or most of the background or base of the thumbnail. So it looks slightly better. And of course, it is up to me if I want to include the first label or not. For example, if I want, I can just leave the first one as blank. And if I look at it again, now we don't have, I mean, it is basically overwriting the, I mean, it looks like, it looks slightly strange, but the base image is, of course, you have more to look at the base image. And that is it. That is the improvement. Basically, the improvement is that I'm doing a scale and crop of my generate thumb script using ffmpeg. So that is all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.